is Heinz UK. We got a very last-minute announcement that they are, in fact, Reason Gaming. Now,
yes,
I was expecting you to respond to that.
I didn't know if we were supposed to mention that. That's why I didn't.
I got the okay.
Did we get an okay?
And we could mention that.
Okay. Well,
it was.
I didn't know. So
it
that's
would
why
have.
I was
Yeah.
like, what are you
sorry.
doing, Joe?
No,
You've gone rogue on me.
I got the okay from League Ops that it was okay to
so we're
mention
good?
that one, but it is an official change. But unfortunately, it was too late
So
for us to mention it actually on the stream. But it looks like it was Xenex, I believe, that won that knife round, which means they get to pick their half. And it looks like they're going to stay over on this T side of the map. So they're looking to set the pace of this game. They're looking to be the ones that are really on that acceleration pedal. We'll see what they're going to be able to do coming into Cash and see whether they're going to be able to kind of give Heinz UK a bit of a taste of their own medicine.
Yeah, obviously Cash, we've dabbled on it quite a few times now, that this is the map where Xenex are going to be a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more in their own, and for me, I just want to see them play like that. I want to see them bounce back into that and try and do it. I mean, it might be a little bit of a struggle, but we'll have to just wait and see, really. Xenex, definitely they have all of the possibilities here. Got the natural tools, Joe. Just remembers, if they have the training.
Yeah, that is going to be the question, and that's always one of those things that when it comes to these scrim teams, when it comes to these mixed teams versus the fully fledged teams, whether scrims are going to be a big difference, whether it's going to be that team practice coming into play versus just solo queue versus just building that raw mechanical skill. I've got to say, they've just turned off the studio lights for us, and I am so thankful because I'm sweating buckets right now. And it is so much nicer.
Goddamn, Joe.
Thank you so much, production. Hashtag ESL Premgrams coming to the rescue once more.
I thought I was just slowly dying. I just forgot.
I wasn't
the
sure whether I
lights.
was sweating or melting.
Am I just really ill? Joe, I need to go to the hospital.
Yeah, I think I might join you for that one. But let's finish the UK CS first, and then we'll have a trip down to the local GP.
Get checked over. Yeah, we've caught a sign of the UK scene. I keep folding. Hey. Keep making inconsistent roster changes.
I'm not sure that's the type of illness, mate. Now I think about it, maybe it is.
Maybe your fingers just keep falling
it
off.
is. Maybe you're the doctor that the UK scene needs.
The UK scene, also known as leprosy. Things just keep falling off.
Wow. I've got to say, after some of the drama going on this morning in the UK LOL scene, they maybe could do with a diagnosis from yourself. But we'll have to wait and see what goes on with that one later on in the week, because League of Legends is going to be kicking off as well later this week. That's on Wednesday, and Hearthstone as well is going to be kicking off on Thursday. So if you're the kind of gamer that isn't just a CS player, then check them out as well. But if you are the kind of gamer that is just a CS player,
we provide everything.
Guess what we've got on your screens, ladies and gentlemen? It is in fact CS. So unfortunately, the first round of this game is an hour long and has no money. So I think we might just be restarting that one and getting the game underway properly.
Yeah, have we already had the knife? I assume this was the knife round.
I thought the knife had happened. I was under the impression the knife had happened.
Or is that just the most BM knife round ever, and they've just suicided to just let pick sides? I don't know what's going on there. Or if that's just being replayed soon. I'm confused, Joe. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. I'm lost and alone. Oh, that's what I feel like emotionally right now.
The existential crisis is kicking in. And he's starting to fill the void.
I live in the void. I am the void.
You're born by the darkness, raised by it.
I'm the bane of the void, if you will. But I believe, I'm pretty sure the knife round did happen earlier. I'm pretty sure Xenex won the knife round, and we're just making sure everything's hunky-dory on the server before we actually kick this game off and get this CS underway for you guys. Apologies about the delays we have had tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, first broadcast of the season, just ironing out the kinks, and by the group stage we should be fine and dandy and everything rocking and rolling just nicely.
There's some nice camera shots here. I feel like, obviously our observer behind the scenes, he knows what he's doing, Jay. That's some nice moss.
You can tell that this was one of those kind of pre-set-up camera shots that the observers use in like the Pro League and things.
Oh yeah? He's found the keybinds for this?
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
That is I feel like I'm on a roller coaster right now. Roller coaster of emotion, that is.
Because you get to the peak and you realise you made a huge mistake, but you can't ever get off. That's kind of what the Prem is.
Wow.
Oh god, I can't get off this thing for at least another week.
This is welcome to the UK scene. Oh dear, no. But here we go. The endless warm up continues, and the sun has been turned on once more, and I can feel myself tanning in these studio lights. But yeah, I believe we're having a couple technical hiccups with the server, so apologies about this, guys. I'm sure you're getting pretty fed up of listening to us just chat at this stage, but we are doing our best to entertain you guys while we wait for everything to be resolved.
I mean, like, it's still not as bad as the very final group stage broadcast of last season, right? Like, that was the final, that was the epitome.
That was the pinnacle.
Yeah, that was the breakdown. The ice lollies just flung out on shot.
Yeah.
Everything went wrong.
To be quite honest, mate, I could do with an ice lolly.
Yeah,
right
that'd be
ice
good.
lolly would be the way to go in this one, but I think the game is actually underway. They're restarting it. I think we might actually be able to get into
Don't
this
jump the gun,
game.
mate. Come on.
I'm getting excited.
At least another 10 minutes.
I'm getting excited. It's still paused, but it's been restarted. People have got pistols. There isn't any money just yet, but we're working on that. We're going to see if we can get them in touch with the Home Office, get them on the dole, get a bit of cash in their pockets, and then
nice.
Go from there. Play it eco, budgeting every week, making sure they don't spend too much on the food, and then slowly but surely save up and look towards some orbs. But I have just been told by production that despite the economic efforts of our players here, just getting by on as little as possible, we are in fact going to have to go to a quick break while we get a couple of technical hiccups sorted out. So we'll be back in just a few minutes' time with the second game of our first series.
In the place that you denied, the dream of life is all I find.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. We're back once more. The break is over and we're jumping into the second map because the players are already underway with the pistol round. So let's jump straight onto Cash for the second game in our first series of the Summer 2016 split. It is going to be Heinz UK up against Xenex. Heinz already 1-0 up in this series. Xenex are looking for a way back in, but it's 3 versus 3 to kick things off.
That was some funky transition, Jay. That caught me off guard. But anyway, wins all the round. Stanley is going to find the first frag on towards Brody. Takes him down. JT still on the scene. Trying to cause a little bit of damage, but can't quite find it just yet. Stanley seeming like he should be able to get the drop on him here. It's a struggle, though. This actually could be around for Xenex. It looks good so far on their T side. Stanley bouncing around. Look how low he's getting. JT just toying with him. This is fantastic play coming out, and JT finds the frag as well. Xenex, they actually pick it up, and they kick it off with just what they needed.
Absolutely, and you know, when you had that first game, like for you guys that didn't see the first game, let's just remind you that Heinz won it 16-3. Xenex had honestly an appalling game in that first map, and I don't think any of them would argue with me on that one. But they've kicked this one off right. They've actually got a round on the board, and that means that they should be able to transition that into a couple more, especially with those SMGs and a couple of rifles as well coming on through in this first round in the second round for them. But unfortunately, the pause is coming through once more, Jackie.
Yeah, it's fine. It's only the first time we've seen a pause.
To be honest,
There's been no breaks.
We don't usually see many pauses in the UK scene.
No, that's true.
To be honest.
It's very rare that they actually... I mean, tactical pauses, very rare. It's only at LAN finals occasionally. I mean, we saw like 2, which I believe was the most we've ever had at finals, which was last season. So that was like groundbreaking. But jumping into this one as well, as you were saying, that buy, this is a lot better. You've got that rifle potential on Brody and Pickles. Wouldn't be surprised if they're going to try and go for that early mid-aggression or potentially the A-take. Utility to work with as well, where you try and gain mid-control. Get Brody or Pickles boosted up. One possibly on top of Starline here at mid, and one on top of Boost, so we can actually try and go for those initial frags. But it seems like they would actually just be going for the A play. Are they going to boost Brody up? Maybe.
Solid maybe on that one. Fry is going to be over towards this A site though with the Desert Eagle. Nearly found Pickles through the door just there. I think it just went over his shoulder, but it is going to be Robin finding one and T-Sack with a couple of his own. A third as well. That Desert Eagle doing some serious work, but Stanley from mid is going to shut down Shiki. And that is going to even things up. Those pistols doing some serious work for the likes of Heinz UK. And unfortunately for Xenex, after winning that first round, they are going to be shut down immediately.
Alright, I mean, I think we've just time traveled back into Source after that. That is just ridiculous. All these Deagle frags coming out so quickly, everyone just getting picked apart. Xenex, they had the play, and they played it correctly. You know, they had the extra advantage in terms of their arsenal. You go for that split A-take, we try and gain mid-control as well, but it looked a little bit uncoordinated, and just the frags raining in from Heinz, just ridiculous aggression, and they backed it up. That's scary. And now as well, with them actually having weapons to play with, Xenex, they're going to be a little bit terrified on what they can actually try and go for here.
Yeah, well, Jenko sneaking off forwards. Nearly didn't pick up that kill, but a little bit of control. Takes a breath, resets his recoil, and will be able to finish it off. Robin finds one as well as Fry getting a beautiful little spray transfer. Gets a headshot, and that's going to be the USP to finish off the round. Fry pulling it out of the bag right there, honestly, with the USP. UMP. Or in fact, both of them, in fact.
It's quite nice, obviously, as well. The first frag a little bit shaky. Instant with the second one with a snapshot onto the USB as he just does, causes a drive-by to actually get away and clean it up very quickly. So Heinz, everyone's still looking like they're on point, even after a little bit of downtime we had. You know, they haven't cooled off at all. Xenex back onto the rifles, though. Limited utility. It's not too fantastic, but at least there's something there for them to play with. I want to see them try and go for that mid-aggression once again, but they need to be a little bit more coordinated. They didn't actually use much utility when they went for it previously as well. Pickles does find the opening, though. A Galil of all weapons to punish T-Sack, takes him down. Shenny has the back of his teammate here as well, and this is great. They're causing distraction. They're going to force out this rotate. They find these frags and 2 players rotating. The A-site is in the palm of their hands, and they do it. Pickles comes in with one as well. 2 men left standing now, Joe. This is looking fantastic for Xenex.
It certainly is, and they desperately need to get this round. They can't allow the same thing that happened in that first map where Heinz just run away with things, and now Jenko with this UMP should be able to make something happen. A pop flash does come out, and he will be able to connect a couple of shots there onto Pickles. Finds himself a Famous no less, but he's only got 7 HP to work with, and he decides that is just not enough. He's going to be happy with that rifle. At least he can take that through into future rounds. But it's not an ideal scenario for Heinz UK. At least they get a weapon, though. But Xenex, I've got to say, they're going to be absolutely cheering. They're already 2/3 of the way to their score from last game. Let's see if they can go for the full hat-trick and get those 3 rounds on the board here. Xenex, though, with 3 rifles as well to take into the next round, they're actually going to start to find themselves in a pretty alright position when it comes to economy.
Yeah, they're actually going to be getting a little bit stable here. But the thing is as well, Heinz, they have money to play with. If they want to shuffle around, they can go for the full buyout right now. They can drop, and they are actually going to opt to do so. Push up a little bit, dabble around, and be able to get those buys out. A lot of utility. The only man that isn't going to have any is going to be Robin. He will have that smoke, though. And that's mainly one of the most important things. If you have that smoke, you can zone out the T's, buy yourself more breathing room. So it's great that at least he has that to play with. Meanwhile, Xenex, they seems like they're returning to that mid-aggression. They found a little bit of success there. They want to try and keep hitting it over and over again. But Stanley, playing close underneath boost with the backup of another teammate here just by sandbags, this is a good little defense. If Xenex aren't aware of this, he can punish them so heavily. He's in a great spot. The 2K spray down comes in, immediately just rips his way through Pickles and Shaney, and they're in a great spot.
And I love, as soon as you say he can punish them heavily with this position, he does exactly that. Finishes off 2 players, avenges the death of Robin, and that is going to mean that Heinz have this advantage once more. 4 versus 3, as it looks like the A site is going to be the call, but there are 3 CTs just laying in wait for this push to come on through, and it's going to be Fry pushing so aggressively. The 2 flashes are going to be more than enough for him to finish off those kills, but JT is not finished just yet. Gets one through the smoke onto Stanley. Now with a pop flash out, he's looking to get away with his life and his gun right now, but the defense has held true. Heinz UK have managed to stop this one in its tracks. JT is going to go down despite trying to go for that cheeky little peek at the end there. And it is going to be 3-2 now, but a much closer game between these 2 teams.
Man, that's just ridiculous. Like, this is what I wanted to see as well. That aggression coming out where they just go, you know what, like, whatever, let's just bring our A game, let's just try and hit them with it. If it goes wrong, it's our own fault. They're more worried about, you know, if they miss shots, they blame it on themselves rather than them getting outplayed. They want to just take the aim battles. It doesn't matter on positional advantage. You can see Heinz, they're riled up. You know, they are just a team that wants all-out aggression, all-out speed. They want to take the fight to you, even if they're on CT. And it's pretty cool to watch. But Xenex, they know about this now. They don't need to try and slow it down, slow down the tempo, counter that by allowing when they go for those overextends to actually pick them off. Be in the better spot where you can try and play against that.
Well, we've got a bit of a triple boost going on towards mid. I don't think they're really going to do anything too crazy with this one. Maybe get some utility out and then finally push on over, but Stanley is well aware of the situation. Shuts one of them down immediately, and you just see them back away. I say that Robin takes 2 before he is going to go down himself, but T-Sack is easily going to be able to avenge him and gets the 5th one to finish off the round onto Shaney as well. Heinz UK, 0 to 100 in approximately 10 seconds right there, just wiping out the likes of Xenex.
Yeah, I mean, that was crazy, just being able to just batter them down so easily. Xenex as well, though, this is the thing, they start to get themselves in this little bit of a loose streak now, so they've got cash to play with. They can get these guns out. It just depends, can they actually wield them correctly. Shaney back on the AWP. We know he can be proficient with that weapon if he's given the opportunity to do so, but are they even going to let him get into a good spot right now? It's going to be hard. Shaney obviously as well, just playing outside Squeaky, interestingly enough. Going to see if any pushes come in towards him. That's a very interesting sort of position, really, for a weapon like that. Meanwhile, as well, Pickles finds the opening frag on towards Stanley at the B bomb site. This is a very unorthodox round we're actually seeing coming out. Shiki with a snapshot on towards T-Sack. Robin will fire it back. But it's a 3 versus 4 in favour of Xenex. And now Shaney can actually begin to achieve something with that AWP. It's a close angle, but sneaking out on towards the A bomb site. If they find that frag on towards Fry, this round is putty in their hands.
It certainly will be, but a little spray coming out from Robin. He's trying to stop this push in its track. He's trying to shut Shaney down, because if they can take that AWP out, that could be a huge factor pushing on further into the round. But so far, no such luck. Pickles is going to get dropped, though, and that makes it a 3 versus 3. Now Fry going to get the pop flash out. Does not find a target, though, and will get shut down by JT. He found Robin as well. The 2-star players have been taken out right now, and Xenex are looking like they well and truly have this round in the bag. Jenko going to be arriving on the scene with his M4. But he's got a tall order if he wants to get this retake. He's going for it anyway, though. This man apparently has no fear whatsoever as he steps onto the site. And JT, he's going to be more than happy to pick up his hat-trick.
Yeah, and that is a crisp round coming out there. Not only from JT, but from Xenex. A whole lot better. Pickles with the initial frag towards the B-bomb site, being able to find that was just the game changer. And it's good to see him actually performing quite well here. 9 frags on the board. Shaney as well, unfortunately not being able to really come into fruition just yet. 0 and 5. But he has the AWP. He didn't die, so he still has that on him. So it means, can we see that from Shaney now? We know how damaging he can be, but we need to see more from him. I want to see a little bit of confidence coming back into him. Maybe him trying to go for something a little bit more flamboyant and find that initial frag. We know his teammates can back him up. They go for the push though. Jenko in that elevated angle, hammering down, takes down Shiki very easily. Stanley waiting to see if he can set someone up on a date with a coroner as he just holds on the site, seeing if they're going to push in. He won't actually be able to find the frag. JT takes him down, but it's not going to matter as Jenko can fire back and it falls on Shaney.
We saw Shaney do crazy things with the AWP last game. Is he going to be able to replicate that here on Cash? He's got to find some sick shots, but he's not going to land his shot. Robin punishes him wholeheartedly for that one. Shaney goes down, and it is going to be a 5th round on the board for Heinz. But, you know, Xenex not too far behind when it comes to the scoreline. However, when you start to look at the money, with Heinz a completely full buy coming out from them, and Xenex $2,000 and $3,000 in their banks. They're not feeling the. They're certainly starting to feel the pinch. That is definitely the case here. But Stanley going to open things up with an AWP shot onto Shiki, and Heinz. Honestly, they should have this round basically for free.
Yeah, this is a very easy one they should be able to pick up, and unfortunately as well, JT there. Tunnel vision as he creeps out onto the site, won't be able to clear that position. They are just going to get picked off. You can't expect too much out of Xenex though, really. If they got the bomb down, that would have been fantastic, but it's going to be unlikely they're even going to get their way on towards the site. Shaney actually gets 2 opening frags now. Double or nothing as he comes into fruition. It's the first time we've really seen him achieve too much on towards Cash, but hopefully this is a bit of a resurgence. Hopefully we can see more coming out from him now as he tries to go for these snapshots. Won't happen, but nevertheless, forcing 2 rebuys out of Heinz on an eco like that is still good, and they have money to play with now with Xenex as well.
Yeah, they certainly do, and I feel like this is a very important round for Xenex right now because we saw a similar scoreline last game. We saw a 6-1 last game, and it was kind of a Xenex needed to get themselves back on the board. They needed to start to actually contest this scoreline, and this is their opportunity. They've got rifles to work with, and they've got Heinz in an... It's like the economy of Heinz is not in an amazing position right now. They'll be able to do a kind of at least half rebuy next round if they do lose this one. But they've got them in a position where it is you can still come back from this. You know, it's not going to be instant, just million rebuys over the back of a loss. So we'll see if Xenex can actually force that situation. They've managed to get the first 2 kills of the round. So fantastic start for them, and now they're going to head towards this B site by the looks of things.
Yeah, this is a whole lot better. Ooh, Stanley actually got the tag off there, and he switched out to his 5-7, so should be able to find the frags, but it doesn't matter. Shaney sneaks his way through the smoke, but look at T-Sack playing from Lumji. So smart. He can just play off the back of Patience here. We need to see how he plays this one out, because this could be fantastic. He's got to clear his angles. Unfortunately, once into the crosshair of Pickles, that could have been huge, but it gets snatched away from him, and it falls on towards Fry. A 1 versus 5, a round he has no stake in. But to be honest, Joe, I wouldn't be surprised if he still causes some havoc.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like T-Sack got so unlucky there. So many times. I mean, we've got X-rays on. We can see where all the players are, but so many times these player highlights were just on the very edge of the smoke. Just as he moved around, they were out of sight. And, you know, in the end, there were 4 players, so unfortunately, because he didn't spot anyone first, he does end up just going down. And, you know, we mentioned Fry could cause some havoc. He's looking for a kill. Does at least get an exit frag for himself onto Pickles, and looks like they're on the hunt. They're looking to try and shut him down if they're going to be able to, but I don't think anyone's going to find him in the end. Oh, just trying to dodge bullets in the corner there, and he will survive. Doesn't manage to take that rifle on through, but this is what I was talking about. This economic situation for Heinz. They can get some sort of a buy together. It's not going to be ideal. They're not going to have full grenades or anything, but they still have some money to work with. However, Xenex, they have got this full buy. Look at the grenades, look at the armor that they've got to work with, and if they can just put this round together, if they can just start to even things up, they're actually going to have a shoe-in on taking this map.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, you know, Cash is that map. They have that potential. We've just only seen little hints of it, just little streaks, but there's a whole lot more, and hopefully we're going to see him shine shortly into this one as well. This could be the round to do so, as Heinz not in a great spot, and it gets worse and worse by the second as JT pops the head of Jenko very easily. An absolute artist with the AK JT's been throughout this series so far. The only one that's really been causing havoc for the side of Xenex. Fry stuck on the site, wants to see what he can find. Everyone's sprinting their way up short. He actually comes in with the opening frag. I don't even realise he was able to find that shot on towards Brody. What a sick play. T-Sack there as well, playing by Carr. Jiggle peeking round, but it won't matter. JT takes one down. Pickles with the other frag on towards T-Sack, and they keep it going.
They certainly do. Xenex are back in this game, ladies and gentlemen. They're starting to build a bank for themselves as well. Barely anyone died. In fact, one person, 2 people died that round, which means only 2 rebuys, and a whole bunch of money is going to get passed on through into that next round. Xenex are finally in the position they've been craving to be in. They're the ones in control. They're the ones in the driver's seat. And Heinz UK, they are 1 round away from being equalised, and they've only got pistols to defend their scoreline with.
Yeah, this is going to be a hard round for them, especially when they're getting blown up by mortar strikes coming in from JT himself. T-Sac, he is in a good spot to attempt to divert them a little bit as they try and come through mid, cause a little bit of damage. But it isn't really going to work out. Chenko actually comes in with that P250 shot on towards Pickles. Stanley's going to go down though off the back of Brody. A 2K for the man now as he doubles it up. Chenko still tapping off, trying to hold them back for as long as possible, allowing his teammate a little bit of time to rotate over and help him out. But this round is as good as done as Shaney sends Chenko off to the Burns ward, and it falls on Fry.
He does. Shaney just misses his shot there, and Fry is going to be able to punish him for that, so he's going to be pretty happy with that P250 kill, and he's more than happy to just go for those peaks, you know. Hope for the lucky headshot. If you get shut down, all you got is a P250. You've already paid for that with that kill you got onto the likes of Fry. So at that point, onto the likes of Shaney. But at that point, he's happy to just keep on going for that and risk the death. And that is now going to mean that Xenex, they've tied things up now and they're going to continue to build up this bank. But the rebuy is finally on through for Heinz UK. They've got a glass cannon AWP in the hands of Fry. We thought that might be a storyline piece for last game. Maybe it's going to be the storyline piece for this game as Robin got a boost kill right at the start of the round, but it's going to be traded onto T-Sac.
That frag coming out, good stuff so far as they take their aggression towards mid. You can see them slowly turn up as well. A lot of map control in their favour right now. Robin, I think he actually got a tag off there. He went for that little jump face. That is ridiculously
Single
cheeky.
bullet.
Yeah.
Single bullet and it does 25 damage. It's, you know, it's not the end of the world, but it's just...
It's
if you get hit by that, you're just like, really?
Have I even been
Did that
tagged?
actually happen? But Robin finding another one as well onto Brody there. And it's going to be Shiki trading it, so 3 versus 3. But take a look at the health bars right now for Xenex. 5 and 26 in the hands of Shiki and Pickles. You know, with the open hands of Shaney, this is still doable, but it's going to be a challenging round for them. And Shiki going to be the one to peak right now. I think he just did that one for information, just snuck straight across and then tries to escape with his life again. But it's a 1-for-1. Shaney suddenly the last man remaining there as he pushes on towards this side, trying to get stuff done with his pistol, but the headshot is going to be there for Jenko, and he's found himself an AWP to work with.
Man, that was so unfortunate, because they actually had utility as well. It was a nice nade from Shiki, softened them up a little bit, and then Pickles used that Molotov perfectly to force Stanley out of position. So they got that frag. If Shiki wouldn't have fallen from the player rotating, there was still a lot of potential left in that round. They could have tried and gone for the converge. Shaney would have found that frag, but, you know, it was a little bit too little too late, obviously, as well. That flank was great play from Heinz. So unfortunately, Xenex don't pick up that one, but they still have the cash to play with, and it's getting better every round. Seems like they're finally starting to get back into their own sort of confidence. They're in their own zone. Shaney actually gets tagged by T-Sac, just spamming. It's a nice little spam spot through mid. So he's a little bit softer, but it's not too much to write home about. But mid, it's been under constant bombardment by Xenex. Can they do it once more, or is this going to be the time Heinz shut them down?
Well, Xenex is certainly going to be wanting to get this one on the board. 7-6 is the score. A very different game to what we saw in that first map. Nice little smoke by Jenko to stop the volley, but he can't connect his shot and gets fully punished for that one. And now suddenly only 3 CTs remaining, and it's going to be Brody to shut down Stanley. This is looking like Xenex are going to be able to equalize things once more, and we might just be fighting for that 8th round. But Fry, he's not done just yet. He's got his Asimov in hand, and he's looking to take out some casualties right now. Only 2 CTs remaining. The bomb is down. I don't think they're going to be able to really contest too hard for the defuse, but they can certainly look for exit frags.
Yeah, they're just going to have to try and hold, really. See what they can actually achieve here. Obviously, as well, this is the... getting towards the penultimate round. It's hard for them. Pickles coming in with that snapshot as well towards Fry, and it falls on Robin. There's nothing he can really do. At best, if you can find a couple of frags, it's going to be an ultimate little situation. And it works out for him. Robin somehow able to just find the spray down. I mean, they had to exit together. And he's just able to rip through him, so he gets away with the AWP as well. Full rebuy is going to be forced out from Xenex. They're going to have to skimp on grenades a little bit here.
That was... I mean, they won the round, at least. You know, Xenex won the round. That's a silver lining. But I feel like the end of that was just worst-case scenario. You had Fry just taking little picks at them. He managed to get 2 for himself. And then Robin just, you know, he had the AWP down to his left. He could have gone for that if he wanted, but he was like, no, you know what? I'm just going to hold this angle. I know that they're going to exit here, and they lined up perfectly for him. But enough about that, because this round is already well underway. Heinz is starting to get picked apart, though. Stanley is going to be able to answer for it a little bit. Turns it into a 3 versus 3. But with just pistols in the hands of Jenko and Fry, I don't know if they're really going to have enough to contest Xenex. But Fry sneaking on round behind JT. Should be able to find a cheeky little headshot. And he's looking for a second one as well. The trigger patience from Fry. A beautiful thing to see. And suddenly, Shiki with it all to play for. 3 versus 1.
Man, that was beautiful. Like, he could have tried to go for whatever he wanted there. You could see sort of like the thoughts through his mind. What do I try and go for? Plays it absolutely. Just stellar play coming out. And it pays off. 2 frags on the board. You leave Shiki in such a horrific spot. A 1 versus 3, all on your lonesome. AK and just a HE to play with. It's going to be hard. Not only that, Joe, the bomb left stranded at mid. It's going to be hard for him to even try and find his way out. Jenko with the AWP there. Should find the frag. Actually misses the initial shot. But goes back for more.
He will answer for that first miss and will finish off Shiki. I think at that point, all that's going through Shiki's head is, you know, it's 7-7. If I win, I've got the best highlight reel of the Premiership so far. If I lose, you know, we're only 1 round down. It's not really the end of the world. So just goes for that fight over towards mid. Is going to get shut down for it. Heinz UK still with an advantage. Certainly the favourite if you look at the first map. However, Xenex are making things happen. And on their terrorist side, they managed to get 7 rounds on the board. And, you know, Cash, if you have a strong CT side, you know, I've heard people consider this to be a CT-sided map a lot of the time. And I've had kind of debates with people about what sided map this is, you know. And people have different opinions on whether it is T or CT-sided. But you know, with Xenex, this being their map pick, I wouldn't be too surprised to see them throw out a really solid defense here.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing as well, you know, it was kind of always more their CT half that was very dominant in the past as well. Sort of with the core, kind of, you say the core, I mean, kind of just with Shiki and Shaney, they're only really the 2 that have sort of stuck together throughout a lot of the stuff. I mean, not even really stuck together, but, you know, in sort of this lineup, Shiki's always had a very sort of structured CT half, so it's going to be interesting if that comes into effect here as well, how that plays out. But meanwhile, you got Heinz, a team that just causes all-out aim across the board. But this push coming out, working their way in towards Screeky. If Brody can find these initial frags, this could be so beautiful. But look at the setup from Heinz, countering it perfectly. But it doesn't matter. Brody finds the initial one. Pickles comes in with one of his own as well. They batter down the opposition. What a fantastic, explosive way to kick off the first round.
And this is exactly what Xenex need to be doing on this CT side. This is what we saw out of Heinz, this aggressive defense coming out, and it takes your opponent by surprise. Heinz, after watching Xenex play for a map and a half, they were not expecting anything of this sort to come out. Brody finds another one for himself, as does Shaney, and suddenly T-Sac is going to be going down. JT finishes off the round, and Xenex come into this second half, all guns blazing. 8-8 is the score, Xenex with the advantage.
And this is the Xenex I wanted to see. That CT half on Cash, get them into those positions, and they went for the aggression. It seemed like confidence had been drained out of them, but finally they bounced back into it. They've gone, guys, we know we can take the fight towards them, and they've done so. A very heavy SMG investment here, though. Only Brody with the M4. He really needs to be a power player if they go for that all-out aggression towards A. He has to try and hold them back single-handedly, and it will be that A setup with smokes, but he doesn't try and allow them to even set up. Sprints his way in towards main, gets that first point of contact, and needs to try and hold them back here, but as well, Pickles, great position to play with, comes in with a 2K, guns it into the hat-trick, he's trying to keep it going, can't quite find the frags just yet, but he needs to do so. Pickles, quad kill, almost on for the 5K, but Brody will snap up the final one.
It could have been so beautiful. I mean, Pickles just manhandling the lineup of Heinz just there. So close to getting this single-handed ace right there. But unfortunately, he does go down in the end. Only gets the 4K, but he's going to be more than happy with that. And that means despite his death, he can afford to get one of those M4s for himself. He's got a defuse kit, he's got the armor, and he's got grenades to shout about as well. You look at the side of Heinz UK, it's a much more sorry situation when it comes to the cash. They've only got a couple of pistols to work with. We saw that they invested in the Tech 9s last round, and that is going to hurt them in this one. They should be able to put a buy together next round, regardless of whether they win or lose. But Pickles just nading himself there. as he's trying to peek over towards mid, but JT should be able to get a couple of shots here. He's only going to be able to get one, though, and suddenly the B site might just be about to get under siege.
Yeah, they're going to try and tiptoe their way in. Shiki as well, just lying in wait here. Actually finds a frag on towards Robin, but unfortunately quickly traded out by Stanley. It's a 3 versus 3. It's a little bit shaky. Xenex, they can't be affording to really lose all these weapons. They have to shut it down now. This is the the utmost they can really afford to have to rebuy, and Brody struggling to connect these shots. Eventually connects one on towards T-Sac, takes him down. Fry with the response. M4 in hand, a 1 versus 2. The scary factor is, Joe, this is entirely possible that they can still win it.
And this is Fry we're talking about. This guy adores these situations. He wants these aim battles. But Shaney is going to prove me wrong and just takes his head clean off. And that is going to be another round for Xenex. But definitely not a round that should have been anywhere near as close as it was. That was against a full eco. They should not be losing that many players. And 3 rebuys have to come through for Xenex. And that hurts this position that they're trying to find themselves in. They're trying to build up that bank. They're trying to build up that buffer for when they lose these rounds. But if you're going to lose like 3 players every single round that you win, you're not going to be able to build up that extra economy.
Yeah, and that's the thing, Xenex, they physically can't be affording to get into those situations up against an eco, not even for the state of the economy, for the state of the fact, if that's what they're doing on their ecos, they're being able to tear down your fences that badly. When it gets into these buy rounds now, we know how proficient each and every one of these players are with those AK-47s in their hands. I mean, this is going to be scary for Xenex.
Well, we'll see how brave they are in this scary, scary situation. Whether they're spooked or whether they're going to be able to come on through with their garlic and steaks in hand. But I don't know. I think Heinz not really going to be too afraid of garlic, being a food manufacturing company.
Other brands of beans are available.
As well as spaghetti hoops.
It's all about the beans, mate.
But yeah, very slow start. To be honest, this is easily the slowest. This is easily the slowest round we've seen in this entire map so far. We've got a very dramatically different start as Shiki is going to be able to find one. Brody laying in wait. He knows that they're coming through, but it does just get shut down by Robin. And now it's all on the shoulders of JT as Robin finds a second one for himself as well. He is going to get shut down, but the spray cannot continue. And suddenly we've got a 2 versus 3. Pickles looking to come up highway and try and contest this site. He's got to make something happen here as the incendiary goes in. But I don't think he's been able to find too many shots onto his targets just yet.
Pickles and Shaney, though, on the retake. There is the potential. Pickles, he's been popping off and looking fantastic into this map, so I want to try and see more of him. Unfortunately, T-Sac just rippling his way through the smoke. Will take him down. Shaney as well in a panic, but finds one frag on towards Stanley. 2 more men to deal with to try and pick this round up. T-Sac, such a great position to play from here as he drops down and keeps holding that trigger the entire way down to the ground, and then puts Shaney in an early grave. Unfortunate for Xenex, with the reset coming into effect as well. Cash, not great. Shaney, the only one with cash to play with. If they want, he can drop a couple of pistols out here. They can try and go off the back of that, but most likely just going to try and hold on to that money so he can get the AWP out into the following round.
Absolutely, and suddenly, Xenex, they're in this situation that they just didn't want to be in. And this is one of those scenarios where, had they not lost so many people when they were winning those rounds, maybe they'd have the money to go for another buy in this situation. But 3 Desert Eagles, a CZ and a 5-7 are going to have to do it for them. A couple of players with some armor to work with as well. Shaney does get spotted there and has to back away, but Shiki's found one with his deagle to start things off. Jenko going to trade that happily, but what a shot from Shiki out of nowhere! And that was just beautiful. Completely punished for, I will say, as 3 players go down, but worth it for that highlight reel moment.
That was sick. See, Shiki, man. Beautiful stuff to see. Just coming back into that straight away with that deagle shot. And it falls on Brody. Deagle in hand as well. Are we going to see anything as spectacular coming out from him? Has to even try and slip past Fry, who's actually coming in. And he'll find that frag very easily, dispatches them. I believe they'll have money to play with here as well. And Shaney should actually be able to get that AWP out. So it's awkward, because it seems like Xenex, they're starting to find the things they need to do, but every time there's just slight adjustments or slight mishaps, especially towards that A-bomb site. The entries that they found shouldn't have been given to him. I mean, it seemed like Brody was just struggling a little bit, caught a little bit out of position. If we see a little bit more from him, if he comes back to the stuff we could see, actually going to be playing towards a B-bomb site now as well, so maybe this could be the change they needed.
I've got to say, we just saw we saw Shaney there hovering on a fair bit of cash, and I feel like the decision there was, do we go for an up or not?
Yeah, I'm actually confused he didn't go for it.
Jenko just tearing them apart, by the way, but I feel like Shaney should have gone for that AWP. He's been incredibly good with it today, and that could have been the difference to start to put these rounds together. Instead goes for the rifle and the utility. I don't know if that was necessarily the right decision.
I'm worried if sort of he's taking a bit of a confidence hit off the back of that, one of the reasons, because that was why they went for the save, and Cheeky as well, caught off guard by Stanley. A little smoke shot comes out, and Shaney, it's going to be more, more effective to actually have the M4 in this situation, so at least it's worked out for that. Pickles getting caught off guard at mid as well. Not great. Shaney, what can he actually achieve here? If he just holds for exit frags, he's going to find a few. T-Sack offers himself up as the first sacrifice, but now really he just needs to get out of here.
Certainly does, but the flashbangs are going to come out, and it is going to be Fry happily able to finish off that kill. The utility and the M4 not really working out. Maybe going for that AWP could have been the better call, but now Xenex in dire straits when it comes to their cash. They're not going to be able to get anything this round unless they want to do some ridiculous force, but definitely not an advisable situation to entertain. Heinz UK, they are starting to put up a little bit of dollar for themselves, but they're still, they're in a similar situation to what we saw Xenex in previously. They don't really have that big buffer. They don't have much to fall back on at this point because these rounds have still been fairly close. So, 11-10 on the scoreboard. This is a dramatically different matchup to what we saw on Cobblestone, and to be honest, I'm very impressed by this different side of Xenex that we're seeing.
Yeah, this is Xenex, you know what I mean, when it comes down to it. It's a good spot coming out from Pickles here as well, so he gets that information. It's very hard to land that shot, so he is just going to be able to slip back onto the site, relay that information to his teammates, which forces out the rotate. Shiki trying to line up the shot, unfortunately couldn't quite do it. Gets dispatched by Robin, and Pickles, he's in a bit of an awkward spot. Just wants to try and play from the close angle, try and at least get one frag as they slip their way up, but it's going to be hard. Gets taken down, headshot comes in. Robin back onto what we're expecting to see from the man, single-handedly just battering down the defenses on his side, taking all the entries he wants, and it falls to Brody. Trapped on his lonesome towards B. This is going to be round 12, snapped up for Heinz.
Well, you say that now, Brody. With the world on his shoulders. Yeah, I think you might be right on that one, to be honest. With just a P250, it would be a pretty miraculous task to take this round. He does manage to find one kill for himself. Sprayed through the wall. He's going to look to try and get that weapon, but he can't quite reach it. And gets shut down in the end by Stanley. So it is going to be Heinz with 12 rounds on the board. Xenex starting to trail behind, but they've got the money to go for the buy. Heinz are going to be able to go for that rebuy as well. And this is going to be the rifle round that, could well decide the game, it feels like, at this late stage in the map. And now we're going to see Shaney actually opting to go for that AWP, but Stanley going to replicate the exact same thing on the other side of the map. Yeah,
Stanley taking it towards B. It's going to be interesting to see where actually Shaney's playing from that as well, towards B, just playing from headshot. This is going to be the battle of both of those. Who's got the faster reaction times here? Who can just slow down the other one long enough as well? On Shaney, it's going to be so much more impactful if he can find those defense frags as they try and tiptoe their way through. You can see the heavy mid setup. They can slip back through in from a retake, helping out through vents, but it all rides on Shaney to find those frags. Lining themselves up right now, but unfortunately Robin will be able to get the better of him. Draws out the shot. He's taken down still quite quiet. Landies, he's struggling. He gets punished by Fry. Here comes Brody through vents, but they need to react quickly. Struggling. Will set up for the flashbangs, trying to allow him in, but it doesn't matter. Blindsided and taken down by Stanley. T-Sat takes down JT as well. It falls on Pickles. He's played fairly well throughout the series so far, but a 1 versus 4, Joe, it's going to be such a hard task.
Well, you say 1 versus 4, he's already taken one of them out, and he's looking to try and finish off the second one. Pickles suddenly found himself in a much more manageable scenario. He is against Stanley, though. He's got that AWP, and he will be able to pin down. They know exactly where he is, but Pickles is not afraid, and he's going to be pushing onto this site. He's going to be trying to find a situation. Actually, just going to be playing Ring Around the Roses with Heaven right now. And he decides that this rifle is more valuable than trying to take that 2 versus 1. It could have been beautiful, but Pickles, for the second time this game, actually going to be robbed of a 4K. But in the end, it is going to be Heinz once again taking an advantage here. They've got the money to work with as well, and Xenex, they're starting to really struggle in this situation. And Shaney, I mean, we've got to mention that start to the round where he had the AWP, he had the perfect situation, he was holding that angle, and once you miss that first shot, it's so hard to kind of just get a grip of yourself again and just line those shots up properly, and a couple of panic shots came out before he got shut down.
It seems like Shaney's really taken quite a heavy confident hit into this series, and it's really sort of slowed him down mentally, because there's been so many shots that you'd expect him to hit normally that he hasn't been able to. Back onto P50 though, we know he can be fairly effective with this weapon, but the range isn't going to complement him. Gets an awful lot of tags out, but it isn't going to mount to anything at the end times. Brody, Deagle in hand, will find one towards Robin, traded out by T-Stack, 14-10. Heinz just steam rolling through. They cannot be stopped. There is cash on Xenex. They can get this buyout, but at the end of the day, what's a rifle if you can't hit anything with it?
Absolutely. Well, all or nothing now for Xenex. This is their moment to step up and show Heinz who they are. If they want to push this onto Mirage, if they want a third map here in the promotions, they've got to show us what they're made of right now. And it's going to be Heinz with as much money as they could dream of right now. They're going to be able to go for a rebuy, if not two at this rate, even if Xenex do manage to find a couple of rounds for themselves. But let's remember, Xenex already one game down, one map down in this series, and it is a best of three. Heinz on the cusp of victory here. And you know, Heinz, one of these teams that is a favourite coming through in the promotions. They certainly look like a team that will almost definitely get to qualify, and kind of proving it in this round as Fry finds two for himself. He's going to get shut down by Shiki, who's looking for a second one, as well as Jenko peeks out of the smoke, and it will turn it into a 3 versus 3, even scores on the doors.
Yeah, nice frags coming out, 3 versus 3. This retake is definitely possible as well. Well, it would have been Shiki. He had that vent angle on lockdown, but Stanley, I mean, we know just how powerful he can be, and he's been living up to that. It's great to see him back on form right now, just tearing for everyone. Pickles and Shaney. Pickles, he's been kind of the man to watch right now on the side of Xenex, though. He's been that frontline infantry dealing damage, but right now he's only good for receiving damage, it seems. He gets knocked down to 21 HP, should be finished off shortly. Robin's going to be the man to do it. Hesak as well takes down Shaney, and unfortunately for Xenex, isn't really going to work out. And you can see that there as well. Everyone on Xenex looking fairly close together in terms of frags. Pickles the one storming ahead, and he's had quite a few impactful rounds for them. But meanwhile, on Heinz, it doesn't really matter. It's a mixed bag every round. It just depends who feels like picking up the weight, you know, when it comes down to it at that point.
Yeah, and just look at that 7-round streak coming out from Heinz. It was such a close game for so very long. It got to, I think it was, what, 11-10 at one point, and then, well, obviously it was 9-10 at one point in favor of Xenex, and then Heinz just managing to string those rounds together, and now Xenex, it feels like they've been just about rooted as Fry finds one through the wall onto the head of Shaney, but Shiki is going to answer for his fallen comrade. And now Xenex having evened things up. Maybe they can make this round work, but it's going to be a challenge for them, that is for sure. The spray coming up through Shiki, throwing a bullet Jenko's way, and he will get it right between the eyes. Stanley as well went down to 10 during that little trade. He's going to be able to answer, though, as Robin as well gets tagged incredibly low. This is very doable right now for Xenex. They might be able to keep themselves in this game. T-Sack coming around from the side. There's only 2 CTs remaining. The bomb will be planted here by Stanley, who does still have that AWP in hand, but Brody is searching for that target and will get shut down by T-Sack and JT. Can he do this one? 2 versus 1 to stay in the upper half of this promotional tournament. Gets the pop flash, but Stanley will not be fazed by such a situation and will take out the final player, meaning that Heinz UK will take this series 2-0.
Yeah, the Beans there coming in, representing. I mean, what a series, though. Cash, more like what I expected to see.